Rise and shine, it's gaming hours. It's Monday somewhere. Okay, so if you guys didn't know, I went to my first Twitchcon last weekend. I've been meaning to go the past 3 years, but something kept happening every single fucking year to where I couldn't go. Literally every single time. But finally this year I got to attend my first TwitchCon, and under Glitch Stars I got to have my very first meet and greet in San Diego. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know what to fucking do. I remember asking Loggy, like, okay, so what do I do at a meet and greet? Are we gonna be standing? Are we gonna be sitting? Like, what? I didn't know what the setup was gonna be like until the day that we finally arrived to the building we were gonna be hosting the meet and greet at. Did you end up going to Costco with Meowie while father pushed the cook cart? Well, it's funny you asked that, because we actually didn't get to go to Costco. I know. The whole point was to go to Costco. I know. We didn't have time to go to Costco. There was literally no room to fit Costco time. Does it count that me and Miwa were at the same Airbnb? Does that count? Because you know we got to spend extra time together. Before I even got to the Airbnb, they went on a snack run. So Loggy and Miwa went on a snack run. And they gathered like snacks, they picked up food for us because we were the last ones to arrive. I think we got there around 11 p.m. on Thursday night. It was late. The Costco was too out of the way, and the weekend it closes too early. Dude, we didn't even check what time it closes in San Diego. I remember Vince asked me, like, I want to say at least 3 to 4 times, like, if we wanted to go to Costco, if there was time to go to Costco. He was like, doesn't Miwa want to go to Costco with you? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't think we have time. And I don't think we actually have a need to go to Costco. There's literally no time. Costco closed at 6 p.m. on Saturday, and it's like, ew. Yeah, no, that's too early. We would have never made it. How was your TwitchCon? Well, we're gonna deep dive into that. Wait, where's the picture that Vince took of me with my standee? I'll put it on my stream. My face isn't a secret. My face is literally not a secret. I started out as a face cam streamer, and showing my face doesn't really bother me. I'll have moments where I'm like, yeah, you know, it seems nice to have some privacy here and there once in a while. But my face isn't a secret, so I don't mind showing. And this is public anyways, let's see. Look! It's me! Prop the bottom part? Shut up! You're not allowed to say anything to me. Dude, Loggy was mean to me frame 1 at the Airbnb. Mr. didn't even say hi to me. Just let me inside. Wait, did Loggy really just let you in without saying anything? That sounds like him. All right, let me tell you how it happened. So basically, me and Vince arrive. We flew together. Our flight got delayed a bit, I believed. But what took long as well was, for some reason, we couldn't order an Uber. I think Vince had to cancel several of the Uber, like the Uber drivers that we were trying to get a hold of, because they just weren't responding, or they were canceling on us. So we had to switch over to Lyft temporarily that night. Like, literally no Uber drivers around the airport wanted to pick us up and drop us off. None of them. I was like, bro, I'm hungry. I'm literally hungry. I'm thirsty. I'm tired. And I just don't want to be out here. I just want to be at the Airbnb already and to say hi to everyone. But it took so long. But Lyft did a great job of finally accepting us compared to Uber.
Metal Gear Panda 9000 just resubscribed for 12 months. Aquamir Love, looks like you had a blast in Twitch.
Hello, Panda. Thank you. I did have a good time at TwitchCon. I really did. And I'm really lucky that I didn't have any complicated like health problems on the trip. I was worried for a split second. It was Sunday. Sunday morning when I woke up, I didn't feel that great, but there's a reason behind that. At the Airbnb, I couldn't fucking sleep. Like, I was not comfortable at the Airbnb. How do I explain this? So, I think me and Vince ended up sharing the same room and bed at the Airbnb, and then Logs and then Miwa had their own separate rooms too. And like, I think our bed was the most uncomfy bed out of all of them. Like, surprisingly, it was. And I remember before I even got to the Airbnb, Miwa took a picture of the Airbnb and I was like, oh my god, it's so pretty. And then she took a picture of like which bed is gonna be ours, and it was the pink bed. And I was like, oh my god, it's perfect. It's like me for real. And it was cute until we slept in it. We were just like, what the fuck? It was okay, but it wasn't like the best. And on top of that, I don't know if the other rooms had this issue, but for some reason, I felt like our sheets weren't like fresh. I don't know how to explain it. Like, even Vince said the same thing. He was like, like, I didn't even want to stick my face in the sheets. I didn't want to stick my face into like the pillows either. But I was like, but we have to sleep in this, and I couldn't fucking sleep properly. The only day that I was capable of sleeping in more was Sunday when I actually had to sleep in and like rest in bed. And then Sunday night, because I was exhausted. I was exhausted to the point where I had to sleep. What a bummer about the bed. Yeah, it's fine though. I had a great experience regardless. It's just sleeping was a pain in the ass because I had this big ick. I think that's the biggest way or the best way that I can explain it. I literally had an ick sleeping in the bed. It just felt gross, but I had to sleep in it. It didn't smell gross. It just didn't smell fresh. It didn't smell clean. I'm just like, I'm afraid what you'd find if you use an ultraviolet. Like, yeah, no, I kept thinking about that shit too. I was like, oh, what if there's like bed bugs here? And I'm like, what if these sheets were never washed? And it kept like going through my mind. I was trying to fall asleep and I could never fucking sleep properly. I'm like, ew. And then every time I would have to turn to my side or something, because I'm a side sleeper. But every time I would have to turn my head, I'd be like, I don't want to stick my nose in the pillow. I remember Vince tried covering me more with the blanket, and it like slapped my face, and I got so mad, and I was like, oh, don't put that on my face. And he was like, oops, I'm so sorry. Because he's so used to like putting the blanket over me. But I was like, no, I don't want the blanket over my face. I don't want to smell it. Dude, I was up in that Airbnb trying to look for like a camera too. I'm like, where are the cameras? Because I'm one of those people that really thoroughly look for stuff to make sure that no one is fucking watching us illegally. Yeah, no, I'm terrified to look for bed bugs. But other than that, at the Airbnb, like, sure, maybe the light in the bathroom was flickering constantly, but it fixed itself eventually. So what you're saying is blame Logs and unionized? Yes. Oh, right. I didn't tell you guys frame 1 of what Logs fucking said. So literally me and Vince fucking walk into the Airbnb, and of course, oh my god, Meowie was so fucking cute. We didn't even have to knock on the door or like let them know that we were here. I think Logs explained to me that she's been listening to everything outside, awaiting for our arrival. And literally before we can go up to the door, she's already unlocking it to let us in. I'm like, oh, she's so sweet. I'm like, oh my god. It's like, she's like a little puppy. Like a puppy waiting. She was just listening to the outdoor noises, hoping that it was me and Vince arriving. So she was very nice. And then there's fucking Logs just sitting on one of the couches in the living room area. And of course, I give Miwa a hug. And then I'm someone that's okay with hugs, right? Like it's like a natural greeting for me to like give someone a hug if I'm comfortable with them. And so I was already going up to like hug him, but I remembered he also doesn't like hugs. And I asked him if he wanted a hug, and he said no. And he told me that I'm dirty. He said I looked fucking dirty, you guys. He literally said I looked fucking dirty. He said I'm dirty. He hates me. He literally fucking hates me. You know what's even more rude? He said compared to fucking me and Vince, he literally hugs Vince because out of the two of us, he looks less dirty. He's like, yeah, me, Vince, and Meowie, we look normal, and then apparently there was me, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just in my men's joggers. I'm in like my gray cardigan. I'm in like a baggy white t-shirt. I have like my hair up and shit, and I'm like, what? Am I supposed to look dolled up getting off of the plane at like fucking 10 p.m., bro? He literally was like, it sounds like you really want a hug, and I said, no, I don't want your hug now. No, you can keep it. I don't want it. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, disgusting. He hates me. If it makes you feel better, Meowie, Minnie heard about this and yelled at logs for you. Bro, I think Stim heard the story too. And I'm pretty sure she had the same reaction. He hates me. I was willing to plug my nose and give you a hug. Bro, I can't believe him. And then for the meet and greet morning, I remember being like, what am I supposed to wear? What am I supposed to wear? And it's funny because during the whole meet and greet, I forgot to put my mask on. Because literally, I think it just... It's like we got there and then things are being set up, and like I remember just looking around and then seeing how things are being set up, and next thing you know, I'm taking a picture of like my standee and then all of our standees together, and I see people coming around the corner, and I'm like, okay, those are just other friends coming in, and then next thing I know, I was trying to like set up, and then it was time, and apparently we had to sit, and I forgot to fucking put my mask on. It didn't occur to me that I didn't have my mask on, so that's why I'm really surprised I actually didn't catch anything. But yeah, speaking of voices, so like when it literally started, I was like, oh, people are coming in, and like people started lining up, and I didn't know what to expect. I was just kind of like, I was sitting on the very far left of the table. Leah was sitting in the middle, and then Mio was sitting on the very far right side of the table. And I was sitting on the side that's closest to the door, and then Mio was sitting on the side that's closer to the merch and everything. And so I'm like making sure that like my business cards were on the table, and that I had my 2 freebie stickers that I was gonna give away and everything. And like I see this line forming, and I didn't know if someone was going to be assigned, like helping people go up for the meet and greet. Like I don't know if people were just supposed to come up to us, or if someone was gonna tell them like, okay, you guys can come up. Like I was just setting up, and I'm like, okay, well, if the front people aren't coming up to me, maybe they're just waiting to speak to like Leah or like Meowie. No, you guys. Guess who was literally right fucking in front of me the entire fucking start of the meet and greet? It was fucking Tundra. It was Tundra. Tundra literally did not introduce himself. He literally was just standing there, and he said hi. His motherfucking ass was saying hi. Like, I just assumed that since he wasn't coming up to me, he wanted to talk to the other 2 girls. He literally was standing there, and then like, first of all, I didn't notice it was Nair. Nair was next to him, and he like tightened his jacket, like his hoodie jacket. He put on his hood, and he tightened it. And so I couldn't see his face, but apparently Nair was right there. And then Chase was there, and then who is the other girl's name? I forgot her name. Tia. There. I was like, it's either Mia or Tia. I was like, oh, I don't want to say it wrong. Okay, Tia. See, I almost had it. Yeah, Tia was there. And it's like, I remember looking up because I heard Tundra whisper something. I think it was something like, I'm waiting for her to recognize me, or like she doesn't recognize me, or something like that. And then I like literally snap and look up, and I'm like, I looked at Chase, and then I looked at Nair. I still didn't know who the fuck Nair was. I didn't recognize Nair, I know. But I literally looked at Tundra, and I was like, who are you? Like, I wasn't even nice about it. I was like, who are you? And you told me to guess, and I had to think. And I looked over at Chase, and I was just like, wait. I was like, Tundra! I was so fucking mad. I was like, oh my fucking god, you can't do this to me because I am such a gullible fucking person. So Meowie core, I don't fake this stuff. It's me for real. Like, I can be very just... I can be very head empty sometimes. I just casually safely assumed that if someone wasn't walking up to me, they were gonna say hi to the other girls next to me, you know? So I didn't bother with it. It didn't occur to me that Tundra was right in front of me, and just, I can't believe you guys were scheming. And then for the longest time, I didn't know it was Nair in the fucking hoodie. Until Nair came up to me with his hoodie on. And I think Nair tried changing his voice, and I was just like, Nair. Nair, you tried, but it still sounded like Nair. I was like, Nair just sounds like Nair. I think you tried like... Did you try making your voice higher? He did? Okay, you did high pitch it. I was like, it sounded like Nair still, just a little bit more squeaky. I was like, it's fucking Nair. I can't believe you were with them scheming. Because literally the stream before heading to Twitchcon, I talked about how please introduce yourself to me, or I'm not gonna recognize you, or I'm just not gonna be sure who you are if you say hi to me. And of course, the first person is a VIP in my fucking community. Of fucking course. You got it in one guess. But it took me so long to realize, and I was like, I'm so fucking stupid. But yeah, it was so interesting to like meet people in person, and then having my very first time literally putting my VTuber signature on whatever people wanted me to sign, whether it was like one of our merch posters or just any of our merch. I know I signed a couple of like Yu-Gi-Oh related things, and I'm like, oh my goodness, not me putting my name on Yu-Gi-Oh merch. But yeah, it was nice to get to write like really wholesome things on people's posters that they would buy, and then wanted just our signature and to write whatever to them or whoever they were buying the merch for. I think I was telling Vince this, but I felt so out of place, and I think I still feel that way. Like naturally, I'm like, it's the whole imposter syndrome feeling. I'm like, I feel like I don't belong here. Like, I feel like it's like I almost want to say I don't deserve it, but that's not the case. I know that's not true, but it almost feels that way. I'm like, it doesn't feel like I deserve this, or like I just don't belong here. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, I only said nice things to me. I told you to shut up. It was super cool though. I was pretty fucking like mind blown to see my standee. I didn't think they were gonna be that big. It's actually taller than me. Like, I know I'm squatting in this photo, but I want to say that the standee was like... was the standee like 6 feet tall? Like, if I stand straight, it's a pretty tall fucking standee. It's taller than me. And I'm like 5'5", 5'6". I was like, oh my god. The standee is so tall. Did Leah motorboat your cardboard cutout? She did. It was posted in the Glitch Stars in our Discord, and I didn't see it for I think a couple of hours. I was like, no fucking way I didn't see this until now. It's crazy. Like, no. Not my cardboard titties. It was great though. I was like, I wish she could post this, but I know she doesn't want to post like face reveal stuff or anything personal like that. I was like, this is so funny. I would love to showcase this.
Sorry about that.
Who's taller, IRL, you, Leah, or Miwa? I want to say like me and Leah are the same height. Miwa's definitely shorter. Maybe Leah's a bit taller than me. Me, you are not taller than me. Loggy, I feel like I'm taller than you. Yeah, Miwa's small. Miwa's small, you guys. Miwa tiny.